Good evening, I'm Byron Scott with the CTV News Update. Police are investigating a fatal shooting in Laurel this morning. Officers were called to the 12,000 block of Laurel Bowie Road at around 6 o'clock. That's where they found an adult male on the ground suffering from multiple gunshot wounds. The victim was pronounced dead at a local hospital.
We have determined that our victim was targeted in this attack, that he was shot multiple times by at least one suspect. Investigators are working with our forensic investigators. Our detectives are working with forensic investigators to determine if there was more than one shooter, to determine if we have any witnesses, and just try to figure out what led up to the shooting, what caused this man to be attacked this morning.
Anyone with information on the case is asked to contact police. Well, few people become legal, cultural, and feminist icons in their 80s, yet that's exactly what Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg did. 87-year-old Ginsburg died in her home on Friday. Patricia Vallone reports on the life and legacy of the woman, affectionately called Notorious RBG.
Small but towering, Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg was a champion for women's rights. In 1959, she graduated at the top of her Columbia University Law School class, but no one was willing to hire a woman who was both Jewish and a mother of two. Bader Ginsburg was the architect of the women's rights movement in the 1970s, winning 5 of 6 key cases. In 1993, she was appointed to the Supreme Court by President Bill Clinton. During her tenure on the Supreme Court, she declared it unconstitutional for states to execute the intellectually disabled and killers under 18. She had a close relationship with Judge Antonin Scalia, her ideological opposite. They both had a love of opera. The 87-year-old leader of the court's liberal wing was adored by young progressives, particularly women. She maintained a star-like following and was affectionately known as Notorious RBG for her staunch defense of women and minority rights. The Supreme Court Justice was also known for her strength and resilience, even as she faced personal loss and health crises. One of Bader Ginsburg's most memorable quotes, "I ask no favor for my sex. All I ask of our brethren is that they take their feet off our necks."
Ginsburg was the second woman appointed to the U.S. Supreme Court. The first was Sandra Day O'Connor. Meantime, President Trump says he'll nominate a replacement for Justice Ginsburg on Friday or Saturday, which he says would leave plenty of time for a Senate confirmation vote. Democratic leaders say they will fight any effort to rush a nomination through the GOP-controlled Senate. So far, 2 Republicans, Susan Collins of Maine and Barbara Mikulski of Alaska, has said whoever is elected president in November should decide who the nominee is. It will take 4 Republican senators, along with all 47 Democrats in the Senate, to block consideration of a Trump nominee. Well, the number of COVID-19 cases in Maryland is approaching 121,000. That's according to the state health department. 412 new cases were reported this morning, along with 4 deaths. Montgomery, Prince George's, and Baltimore counties have the highest COVID mortality rates in the state. And Delaware and West Virginia are among 5 states that were added today to D.C.'s high-risk coronavirus states. Both are popular weekend getaways for people in Metro D.C. area. D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser also added Alaska, Arizona, and Wyoming to the list. Anyone coming from those areas to this area from those 5 states and the 26 others must quarantine for 14 days. The list will be updated next month. And the family of Julio Cesar Moran Ruiz is raising questions about his shooting death. Moran Ruiz was shot and killed by Maryland State Police during a traffic stop on I-95 back in August. Officials say he was shot after speeding off and dragged a trooper with his car about 2,000 feet. According to the Baltimore Sun, Moran Ruiz called a friend during the stop and asked her not to hang up because he was afraid. The family says police can be heard on the call insulting and threatening Moran Ruiz. The Montgomery County State's Attorney's Office is investigating that case. And the state's updated online system designed to replace the Department of Labor's unemployment insurance portal caused a host of problems yesterday. Residents seeking to file claims yesterday using the new system, Beacon 2.0, say there were so many technical glitches that they were unable to file the claim this week. Some say it took hours before the system allowed them to file. The Department of Labor says while some claimants were temporarily unable to file, the problem has been resolved. As of 3 p.m. yesterday, more than 112,000 people successfully filed their claims. Well, police in Montgomery County are investigating a fatal hit and run. It happened just before 1 o'clock Sunday morning on the 8700 block of Carroll Avenue in Silver Spring. The victim is 24-year-old Wilmar Gonzalez of Hydesville. Investigators say a light-colored sedan was seen leaving the area. Anyone with information about this is asked to contact police. Well, Maryland is ranked 8th best state in the nation for teachers. That's according to a new Wallet Hub report. Wallet Hub studied several metrics to come up with its findings. They include teacher income, potential, and teacher-pupil ratios. While ranking Maryland 8th overall, Wallet Hub has placed the state 29th for salaries and 10th for school district quality. Well, help is always on the way. That's the message tonight as the nation marks Suicide Prevention Month. As Keisha Butts reports, there are warning signs to look out for if you're concerned about your family or friends.
Suicide was the 10th leading cause of death in the U.S. in 2018, according to the CDC. For Suicide Prevention Month, Johns Hopkins professor Holly Wilcox says there are several risk factors you should look out for in loved ones, including changes in mood, depression, or anger.
Your gut's telling you something's wrong. They may be displaying depression. They may have had a history with suicide attempt. They may be using alcohol and drugs more than usual, and may have other issues such as anxiety or other symptoms, mental health related symptoms. So those are things that you should look for in terms of recognizing folks at risk.
What should someone do if they notice that a friend is, their behavior is different or their mood is different?
It's important for them to take that scary next step, which is to just directly ask. That's the best thing. Is you can do a lead-in question like, is everything okay? I've been noticing things are doing, things may be hard for you right now. A lead-in question and see how that goes.
Wilcox says if you notice a friend or loved one is struggling, there are several resources in the state to help them, including Crisis Hotline 211 and the Maryland Department of Health. This is Keisha Butts with CTV News. Back to you.
According to the Centers for Disease Control, more than 48,000 Americans took their lives in 2018. If you or someone you know needs help, call 1-800-273-8255. Well, the founder of a local music school releases a new book on black pianists. It's called Black Pianists of Classical Music, born between 1838 to 1933. Novella Otley's book depicts the lives of black classical pianists from across the globe. She says she wants to erase the notion that black people were not involved in classical music.
Children need to know how we succeeded at the top. And adults need to know too, actually, that we did. And it's part of our history as well as everybody else's history. So this is why I'm writing these books on composers, on pianists, on artists.
Otley's book is available in hard copy or ebook. Well, Montgomery County is extending its summer outdoor pool season until next month. Some of the locations that will remain open through October 4th include the Bethesda, Germantown, and Martin Luther King Jr. pools. The Glenmont Wheaton pool will operate on a modified schedule beginning today. Dates are being extended because of COVID-19 restrictions on activities this summer. For more information on reservations and schedules, visit montgomerycountymd.gov and look for aquatic centers. Well, a week ago, Washington football fans were on cloud nine. The Burgundy and Gold defeated the Philadelphia Eagles in a convincing manner to open the 2020 season. Well, today it's back to earth and reality after the team lost to the Cardinals yesterday. The team was down 20-0 at halftime. They didn't quit, but couldn't keep up with quarterback Kyler Murray. Final score, Cardinals 30, Washington 15.
We turn the ball over. You can't turn the ball over. We make mistakes. It's one of those things where we have to sustain the success. I've said it and I've said it again. If you get 2nd and 1, we had 3 2nd and 1s in the first half, and each time the next play we did not succeed. I mean, 2nd and 1. You want to at least get to 3rd and 1 instead of getting 2nd and 4 or 2nd and 5.
We're not expecting right now to, be the Chiefs. We want to be the Chiefs, but the biggest thing is we have to come in each and every week knowing that we have to give the team the best we have, and sometimes we might fall short, but as long as we're accountable and everyone own up to their mistakes today. It wasn't perfect by any means, but it's just part of the game. You can't play the best game of your life every game, but we know that with this lesson from this game, we can use the tools we learned from today from last week, how we started, and trying to make a change going to next week against Cleveland.
And Washington travels to Cleveland next week to take on the Browns. And that wraps up our news for this evening. Be sure to join us again tomorrow. I'm Byron Scott. Good night.
For the latest information on COVID-19 in Maryland, visit the State Health Department website. That's health.maryland.gov. Again, health.maryland.gov. Click the link to the COVID-19 information portal. There you'll find all the latest information about coronavirus. You'll find daily updates on cases and fatalities. Answers to questions about testing and the governor's stay-at-home order are available as well. For specific information about Prince George's, visit princegeorgescountymd.gov. That's princegeorgescountymd.gov. The site offers information about local services for residents and businesses. There's a link for COVID-19 relief donations. Also, food pantry locations are listed. And if you have any questions, call the county COVID-19 hotline at 301-883-6627. That's 301-883-6627.
I am what child hunger looks like in America. I am a 9-year-old boy who hopes a friend invites me to a sleepover so I can have dinner. I am a 15-year-old girl who goes for walks during lunch so my friends won't know I don't have anything to eat. I am a 13-year-old boy who gets into fights at school just because I'm hungry. I was created by artificial intelligence from faces of the 1 in 7 American children who struggle with hunger. Kids you pass by every day but never knew they were hungry.
Feeding America, 200 food banks strong.
I moved to Florida with literally pennies in my pocket and a prayer. I needed a new start. Dacian looks like a very typical 3-year-old until you ask him, "What's your name? How old are you?" My son has a lot of behaviors that would show as being autistic. Most kids can tolerate a variety of foods, but unfortunately for Dacian, everything has to be organic and raw. I wasn't ashamed to go to the food pantries. It's expensive to eat healthy, and nutrition is very important to Dacian's health. The healthy, organic food that we receive dramatically helped his social skills. Most people would say, she really doesn't have much of a life. But to me, I have everything right there next to me in my son.
There was a time in my life where I was extremely homesick. I decided that I needed a pet. When I first saw a turtle, my heart was full. He jumped up and kissed me and jumped right into my arms. I immediately went up to the volunteers at the shelter and said, I want him. He's got to come home with me. Now I'm anything but lonely. Every day with Turtle is a perfect day and keeps me company when I'm doing schoolwork. I like it when he jumps up on the table too. He is a veggie thief. He's an incredible companion and my best friend. Can't say that I've met anybody that doesn't love him too. When I adopted Turtle, I discovered all the things that make him unique. He's a little bit of a lot of things, but mostly he's all pure love.
Do you know what to do if you're stuck on the railroad crossing? Get out of your vehicle. If a train is not approaching, find the blue and white emergency notification system sign on the traffic signs at the crossing. For help, call the number on the sign and give them the crossing number so they know your location and can alert train traffic. Remember, find the blue and white to save your life.